Hello everybody, and welcome back to the Safe App Dashboard where we can now create our own custom forms. In this video, we are going to be covering conditional and logical formatting and a few tips and tricks to organize your forms. So to get started, let's define conditional formatting. Conditional formatting is a single if-then function. So if you want a form element to populate based on a prior answer one time, then conditional formatting is the method you will use. So for this example, we are going to use our truck tool inspection and all of these questions that I've generated based on insulated tools or rubber goods. So if we are wanting our user to navigate through this form based on different qualifications, we can set that up using conditional formatting. If I want rubber goods questions to be addressed when rubber goods is selected or vice versa with insulated tools, then I will program these questions either independently or as a group to display based on the selection made prior. So to do that, I'll need to go into the edit function of the component that I want to have the action. And the first thing I'm going to want to do is hide it so that I can engage with the display functions. Then under the conditional tab, I need to select that. And then the first thing I'm going to do is this component should display true. I'm going to set that to true. Yes, I want it to display when form component, and I'm going to engage with the rubber goods checkbox, and that is going to be set to true as well. So when that box is checked true, I want this to be an unhidden component. Then in preview, I can test my theory. When I select the rubber goods checkbox, my question populates, and when I uncheck it, it disappears. Perfect. That's just what I want it to do. So if I don't want to qualify each question, I can put these questions into two separate field sets and have some mass application functionality. So if I put in a field set, I can dump all of these rubber goods questions into that container, and I will do the same thing for the insulated tools as well. So now I have two field sets with 4 questions and can apply mass functionality using the edit box. Here I will hide the entire field set, go into conditional, set these functions to true. When the rubber goods box is also selected, hit save. Do the same thing for the insulated tools. And that's how you do conditional formatting for a checkbox. If we want these components to be responsive instead to a checkbox, but to a drop-down selection or a prior checkbox selection that is not true false, then we can do that. Let's demonstrate that with using vehicle number. We have our drop-down menu here with all of our different vehicle numbers, and if we know that truck 43 has insulated tools on it, then based on the user's vehicle number selection, we want to be able to have that display. So we're going to change our form component from the checkbox to the vehicle number, input 43, and then let's preview this functionality. There we have insulated tools being displayed. When we click out a vehicle number, it goes away. We still can double check our rubber goods checkbox, and that is set up and working just as we like it. Let's say we want a photo opportunity after every single question if it is answered as needs attention. We can put in our images here, copy and paste, and drag and drop each photo opportunity underneath the questions. Then we can go into the edit image, hide the image, and set this conditional formatting to display when the answer for our question is needs attention. And we'll need to put the value function in here instead of the label. And remember, to see our values, we can go into the edit, data, and then our value column in our values table under the form component that we want to respond to. I'm going to do the same thing to this bottom question. Again, hide it, access conditional, set to true, find your question that you want this responsiveness to, and then put needs attention in there. Hit save. We can preview this again. And if we set our vehicle number to 43, insulated tools comes up. Selecting needs attention displays the upload function feature. and we have what we want in place. Once we have this information, we can either publish it or save as a draft. So moving on to logical formatting. Logical formatting is a multiple if-then function. So a form element would populate based on different prior answers. So to demonstrate that, we can use our insulated field set tool, and instead of it populating based off one answer, perhaps we want it to populate based on two answers. So we currently have it all set up for a conditional format. We can clear that information out. And how we're going to set this up under logical is that the insulated tool field set will display both when the vehicle number is engaged as well as the checkbox. So first we need to title our logic name. This can be anything that makes sense to you. So just at a glance, you'll know what is going on with this function title. Then you'll need to select a type, which will always be simple. Then we want to select our form component. So for this one, I'm going to want to find my vehicle numbers. And then I want to have the value as 43, since that's our designated insulated tool vehicle. Then we want to populate our actions. Again, title the action a name that is going to be representative of the
Under
information
type, we're
going
going
to
want to select property.
And then under component property, we want to select hidden, and we want to set that state to false. So what this is telling us is that when vehicle number is set to 43, the insulated tools field set will display. Now we have to add another logic if we want the insulated tool field set to populate when the checkbox named insulated tools is selected. So again, I will name this something that makes sense to me, which is going to be displayed insulated tools for the checkbox. Simple again. And we'll need to find our field component, which is going to be the insulated tool checkbox. I'm going to set that to true and add my action. I'm going to display checkbox as my action name, set the type to property. My component property is the hidden feature, and I want that to be false. I'm going to save my action, save my logic. So now what this is telling me is that when the vehicle inspection is set to truck 43, the insulated tools field set will display. Also, when the checkbox is selected, this insulated tools field set will display. And we can test this by accessing the preview table and interacting with the components that we've selected. So truck 43, we see insulated tools is being displayed, and when insulated tools is being selected, it is being displayed. And that is the basic functionality of the conditional and logical formatting. If you have any questions, please reach out to Angelia Kelly at Federated or your regional safety and loss prevention consultant.